Dehydration of alcohols. Alcohols have the functional group OH or hydroxyl group. Depending on how many hydrogens are attached to the carbon that has the OH group, we can have primary, secondary, or tertiary alcohols. Primary alcohols have two hydrogens attached to the carbon which has the OH group. Secondary alcohol have only one hydrogen, and tertiary alcohols don't have any hydrogen attached to the carbon. Alcohols can be dehydrated to give alkene. This is an elimination reaction. In the dehydration, alcohol will lose a water molecule through the removal of an OH and the hydrogen from the adjacent carbon to give you an alkene. The production of alkene through the dehydration of alcohol is quite important because that means we can produce alkene through the use of renewable resources, and also because alkenes are the main unit or the main monomers that are used to make polymer. That means that the polymers can be made without needing the use of oil. Alcohols can be dehydrated to give alkene if they are heated with concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid. An example is the dehydration of ethanol when heated with sulfuric or phosphoric acid to give ethene and water. The product will be a mixture of the alkene, water, and some of the acid that has been used at the beginning. So the alkene has to be separated and purified before it can be used. The mechanism of the reaction starts with the addition of the acid to the alcohol. Now, the lone pair of electrons on the oxygen will be attracted to the proton or to the hydrogen from the acid. That will give you a protonated oxygen with two hydrogens attached to it. The protonated oxygen will then pull the electrons between the oxygen and carbon, and that allows for this bond to break and the water molecule to leave, and that will generate a carbocation with a positive charge on the carbon. Now the hydrogen on the adjacent carbon will leave as a proton, and a double bond will be formed. That will lead to formation of the alkene, and then the proton that was added at the beginning will then be released. So we added a proton at the beginning and a proton was released at the end. So the acid here was used as a catalyst for this reaction. The dehydration of alcohols to give alkenes can give you more than one product. So if you have an alcohol like 2-butene, for example, you have two possibilities of double bond. Now this OH could first leave with one of the hydrogen on the carbon number 1, and that will lead to the formation of 1-butene. However, also the hydrogen on the carbon number 2, one of these could be removed. So if the hydrogen on carbon number 3 is removed with the OH, then that will lead to the formation of 2-butene. So in this case, if you have 2-butene and you heat it with concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid, then you're going to end up with two different products, which are 1-butene and 2-butene.